Right, Elisa Lam. Okay, the unsolved case, and it is unsolved because nobody really knows what happened. Um, this is a young lady that decided to travel to America, stayed at Los Angeles hotel, Cecil, displayed some unusual behaviour. Um, certainly, as to the point where guests complained about her, and then proceeded to go into this lift and do this business. Very peculiar. This was put out in 2013 with an attempt to obviously get some clues from the public. The police put this out in 2013, and it was all over paranormal sites. I watched it myself, and the first thing that sprung to mind was something dark, something sinister, possession, whatever you want to call it. Um, but they tried to justify it in the documentary by saying that there's explanations for the lift door being kept open for 2 minutes. She was pressing buttons. I've never known a lift to do that. And as you can see, the timestamp at the bottom is all over the place. Um, which is consistent with things when there's sort of like energies going on, and historically anything with anything paranormal can set electronic stuff to misbehave. The reason I've done this video is because I watched Dark Water, which is the film which has got some similarities to this, which was mentioned in the documentary on episode 3. And I watched it pretty much before I watched episode 4. And I watched the film, which was released in 2005, which is based on a novel, a Chinese novel. I think it's Chinese or Japanese, from years back. And it's a bit odd, the fact that she's Chinese. You have to bear with me. A bit of a Heath Robinson video, but nonetheless gets the message out there. For example, this it's based on a novel, but they did an adaptation to television in 2005, which has some pretty sinister connections with it, as I'll explain. But one particular one, which has been missed by pretty much everybody. I googled it. There's nothing showing this, which I think really is pretty much staring us in the face. But obviously, not everyone's watched this film. Before she was misbehaving in the lift, she was visited by two guys from a bookstore. Now, I don't know anybody that's had books delivered because they can't carry them home. It seemed a bit odd to me, and then obviously that triggered, that her behaviour started pretty badly after that. So what was that she was given? Was it some sort of trigger for mind control or whatever? Who knows? But I think the fact that their zip code of that bookstore goes down to the burial site of where she's buried, which is peculiar. So yeah, 2005 the film came out, which has got some similarities, which I'll show you. Starting from the least, there's three similarities, which is, and the last one I'll show you, which is the one that's the smoking gun. But yeah, so yeah, was it something to do with that delivery she had? But they didn't go too much about that. They went more about things like that guy who does heavy metal. What's his name? Morbid, is it? Which is obviously had nothing to do with it. But who knows? He did some stuff that was a bit strange, Anyway, I started watching Dark Water, and the first thing I saw was this janitor. Incidentally, the same actor that was in The Omen, around about the same time. And you got Cecilia, a bit close to the Cecil Hotel in the way of the name, looking at the camera in the lift. And then she proceeds to leave the lift. Laptop's playing up, never mind. Anyway, leaves the lift. Never played up like this. Anyway, and goes up the stairwell. Right, she starts walking up the stairwell while her mum is talking to the landlord, because they're doing a potential viewing on the property. She walks up the stairwell onto the roof, and the roof has got, pretty similar. It's pretty similar to the Cecil Hotel roof, where you've got the water tank. And in the film Dark Water, it's not Cecilia that falls in the water. It's another girl that lived there prior. that haunts everybody, but she also decomposes and all the water comes through, which is very similar to the Cecil Hotel case where people were drinking the water of a decomposed body. Now, if she walks onto the roof, excuse me, if she walks onto the roof, you see the water tank, and you see her walking over towards it in a red coat, which is a bit sinister, and all the pipes and all the ladders are very similar to the Cecil Hotel, which is explained in the documentary that it'd be very hard for somebody to pretty much climb up onto that and get in, shut the lid. Didn't shut the lid, who knows? That wasn't confirmed. But during another issue I saw during watching the film was a washing machine scene where the mum goes into the basement, sticks some coins into the communal laundrette, and bang, 666 comes up, which pretty much says that there's something dark attached to this film. The actual picture I've got somewhere. Yeah, here. And yeah, I zoomed in on it, and there you go, 666, which is unnecessary, but it's obviously been put in there for a reason. The question's got to be asked: was this girl placed at this place? Was Lisa placed at this hotel, or vice versa, chicken or the egg? What came first? The very fact that, you know, there's a Lam Elisa test, which is an acronym for the words that are attached to a test for tuberculosis, which was an outbreak in Skid Row at the same time, which is also a bit odd. So all these things, there seem to be a timeline that all adds up. But the real issue, the real thing that I picked up on is this. Now you've got the footage of her doing these hand movements, and I'll try and find it. Here we go. Oh, here we go. I have to excuse my Heath Robinson video, but nevertheless, I say gets the thing out there. Right, I'm going to take the camera off so you can see this a bit clearer. Now, as you see, she's doing this weird leg thing, very peculiar. But that's not the bit. The leg thing is strange, but the hand movements are very consistent with something, which I'll reveal to you in a sec. So she comes back into the lift, starts messing around with the buttons. You know, is she trying to keep the lift open? Is she trying to shut the lift? Is there something out there that's stalking her? Who knows? But here we go. She's back in now. And it seems odd. The movements she's making are odd. Now, obviously, people have gone into this in detail. There's loads of videos on YouTube trying to exonerate the fact that, you know, trying to exonerate by saying she's on medication. You know, she's got bipolar. I've never seen anyone act like this. The whole world's on some sort of medication. They don't act like this in lifts. So, you know, here we go. Watch the hand movements. Right, now what you got here is you got an intertwining of her fingers. How someone's not noticed this, I don't know, because everyone learnt this at nursery. Incy Wincy Spider climbed up the water spout. Now the fact she climbs up a water spout, I mean, call it a spout, it's water. She climbs up something, she falls in, you know, and then she disappears. Now, this is all very well. It could be that, it could not be that, but again, we're back to this film. Now this is the nursery that Cecilia was in, and she does this. And it is Incy Wincy Spider climbed up the water spout. So how many coincidences become, you know, into the billions? You know, you can't keep having these coincidences. And this wasn't brought up in the documentary. Nobody picked up on this. And I googled it, and you know, I think somebody somewhere has said that looks like Itsy Bitsy Spider. So you get that. But you know, as soon as I watched Dark Water, I thought, no, there's no way that's exactly what she's doing. And you know, Itsy Bitsy Spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed it. I don't even know it, but you know, it's pretty consistent with this whole thing. Is it a ritual? You know, was she paid to do it? Did she do this as an actress? You know, was she part of something? You know, did she kill herself? You know, if she was an actress, the fact she ended up dying, you know, indicates that I'm not sure if she's acting it. Perhaps she had no choice. Perhaps she was under some sort of mind control or spell or whatever. Who knows? But make up your own minds. But thanks for watching. Cheers.